Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on the time zone. Now, we are facing a fuel crisis that has really affected the transport sector in this country, though we see some leaders being coerced by the government to accept even some offers that seemingly cannot really help the people of this country. Today, we know President Ruto has had a press briefing. He has talked about the issue of lowering the fuel price by next month 14. Yani, tuko na shida leo, lakini unataka kusuluhisha shida yetu mwezi mmoja baadaye. Look at that. So, no one from ODM party, especially the top leadership, has come out even to defend Kenyans. Though Kenyans have been really trying through protest to speak their minds. But for the very first time, the Busia woman rep, who happens to be ODM Secretary General Katherine Omanyo, has come out publicly to differ with the current fuel prices. Though she's directing her argument to the EPRA, and her argument is that EPRA are not just in the office to get salary. Their work, number one, is to advise. Who are they advising? She should tell us. And number two, to regulate, so that Kenyans cannot be harassed or oppressed with the high fuel prices. So according to her, she's giving EPRA 2 weeks to resolve the problem. And if not, then they have no duty having them in the office. They have to be removed and replaced with the immediate effect. That is ODM Secretary General Katherine Omanyo.
Mara mafuta ndio hiyo bei imeenda juu. Watu wa EPRA, nataka kuambia hao maengineer, hawako kwa hizo ofisi kukaa na kukula mshahara. Kama wameshindwa kazi, kuna hapo kwa parliament, mahali hiyo EPRA ilikuwa established, hapo kwa parliament, ndio tutarudi tena kwa parliament kuwatoa kwa ofisi. Kwa sababu ukipewa kazi kama ya kukaa pale kwa EPRA, kazi yako ni ku-advise, ku-regulate, kuhakikisha kwamba mwananchi wa Kenya hanyanyaswi. Kazi yao ni nini na ulipo. Tunawapatia 2 weeks kubehave, ama watoke kwa ofisi, ama tuvunje, tudisband hiyo EPRA, tuweke ile institution yenye itaweza kuhandle maneno za mafuta haraka. Kwa sababu hata hapa tunaona unaelewa mafuta. Mbona mafuta taa bei ikuwe juu na diesel ikuwe chini, iwekwe chini? Mtu wa kutumia mafuta taa huyu wa chini na hapa ushago, na wenye wanatumia mafuta taa ni wengi kuliko wenye wanatumia diesel. Mimi naendesha magari. Hebu nione hapa mwenye wako na magari hapa. Sasa hata wakisema tunafuta ya diesel sijui imeenda chini, wewe wenye unatumia mafuta taa unasikia aje? Mafuta taa pia waweke bei chini. Hapo ndio tutakuwa tunaongea vizuri kwamba tunatetea wananchi wetu wa Kenya.
Now, I want us to continue with our panel discussion, but before we do that, I have a quick and a humble request. For those who are watching the channel and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to our discussion. Now, people like Katherine Omanyo and Githunguri MP, jina linaenda. If you look at them, you would see at one point they were together with the team Linda Wananchi. Even at a time when Raila Odinga was still alive, there were those who were opposed to the government administration. Though we were told it is one of the tactics that Raila Odinga used to use, that they can have two teams. the one that support you and the other one that will oppose you, especially when you get it wrong. Such that at the very right time, he can make the right move, either to go with the opposers or supporters. Sasa alikuwa hivyo. But when you look at that, you find out that Sifuna, Babu Owino, Caleb Amisi, Godfrey Osotho and the team, they were of the view that the government is not actually on the right direction in terms of cost of living in this country. They used to oppose Ruto with fact. That is where Katherine Omanyo was. But later, after the death of Raila Odinga, Sifuna was kicked out and she was taken in as the ODM Secretary General. So, when you hear Katherine Omanyo talking, you conclude that Katherine Omanyo's heart, feelings, and thoughts are with Linda Wananchi. But her body is the one with the Oburu Odinga and the Linda ground. That is a reality. And this is not the first time she's coming out to oppose the government. At one point, she once talked about issues that those who are in ODM and supporting government are not comfortable to talk about. Today again, she's out speaking about the issue of fuel. But what she has not told us is the person who EPRA is advising. Because she has said one of the duties and responsibility of EPRA is to advise and regulate. Who are they advising? President Ruto. So the question is, what if the person intended to be advised is not willing and ready to take the advice? That even after being advised, he take the opposite direction. So Omanyo should be addressing her broad-based boss, William Ruto, directly, rather than going through EPRA. If you need, she's serious. So instead of addressing Ruto directly, in my view, Katherine Omanyo has chosen to use EPRA to send her message, but the message is still the same. Umesema EPRA wasipofanya vizuri wapelekwe nyumbani na wako na wiki mbili. What if the person that they are advising is the one not taking the advice? Are you saying that Ruto should be one term? Critically, if you look at that statement, then you conclude and say that Katherine Omanyo is simply telling Ruto, you are a one term if you don't work on the issue of fuel, because then you are the final person. That is how, politically, if you look at that statement, you can conclude and say. So huyu tu ni mwili iko kwa Linda ground, lakini mawazo yake, akili iko na Linda Wananchi. And that is where she was picked from. Gazonu wa Mshomba, Katherine Omanyo, Sifuna, Babu Owino, Caleb Amisi. This was one team. So now she has started speaking her mind. She does not agree to EPRA and the new price changes. Her position is that the fuel price should go down. And that is what she still maintains. So she has been listening to the ground and she's making a decision to speak the language from the ground. And this could be that majority of Busia people, are not comfortable with the manner in which this regime is handling the situation in this country. So for her, it is better she secure her political position rather than any other position in this country. So the ground in Busia might not be with William Ruto, and she chose to speak the language from the ground.